Jaya Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Prala Narsimhadev Prala Narsimhadev Prala Narsimhadev Prala Narsimhadev Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Sri Sri Gauritai ki Sri Sri Radha Bhagwan ki Sri 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 Jagannath Baladev Subhadramani ki Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaur Pranande Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 6, verse 13. So this verse is all about darshan of Lord and the ultimate goal of life. So today's verse clearly tells about, according to Lord Brahma, what is the ultimate goal of life. So this is a very nice verse. So let us read this verse today. So before we move on, let's pray to Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is a verse spoken by Lord Brahma after having darshan of Lord Vishnu. So let us read this verse word by word, then we'll read the full verse. Sa, please repeat. Sa, Tvam, oh, sorry, I took 14. Tam, Tvam, Vyam, Nata, Samujihanam, Sarojanaba, Atichira, Ipchita, Artham, Drashtva, Gataha, Nirvatam, Adaya, Sarve, Gajaha, Davartaha, Gangam Ambuha. Okay, fully we'll read verse number 13 from chapter 6 of Canto 8. Tam Tvam Vayam Nata Samujihanam Tam Toyam Vayam Natha Samujihanam Sarojanata Archita Yipchitartham Sarojanaba Archita Yipchitan Artham Drashtva Gata Nirvartam Adaya Sarve Drashtva Gata Nirvartam Adaya Sarve Gaja Davarta Iva Gangam Ambuha Gaja Davarta Iva Gangam Ambuha Tam Ivam Vayam Natha Samujihanam Sarojanaba Archita Ipchita Artham Drashtva Gata Nivartam Adaya Sarve Gaja Davarta Iva Gangam Ambaha Tam Ivam Vayam Natha Samujihanam Sarojanaba Atipita Artham Drashtva Gata Nirvatam Adaya Sarve Gaja Davarta Eva Gangam Ambaha. Any Prabhus? Ivam Vayam Nata Samujihanam Swarojanaba Atichira Ipchita Artham Dastavagata Nirvartam Adaya Sarve Gaja Davarta Eva Gangam Ambaha. Mataji. Nava Dastva Gata Nirvartam Adaya Sarve. So we will read translation word by word. Tam, O Lord, Twam, your Lordship. Vayam, all of us. Nata, O Master. Samujihanam, now appearing before us with all glories. Sarojanabha, O Lord, whose navel resembles a lotus flower, or from whose navel grows a lotus flower. Atichira, for an extremely long time. Yipchita, desiring. Artham, for the ultimate goal of life. Drashtva, seeing. Gataha, in our vision. Nirvartam, transcendental happiness. Adaya, today. Sarve, all of us. Gajaha, elephants. Davartaha, being afflicted in a forest fire. Eva, like. Gangam Ambaha, with water from the Ganges. Jack Prabhu. Water from Ganges. So translation by Srila Prabhupada ki. Elephants afflicted by a forest fire becomes very happy when they get water from the Ganges. Similarly, O my Lord, from whose navel grows a lotus flower, since you have now appeared before us, we have become transcendently happy. By seeing your Lordship, whom you have desired to see for a very long time, we have achieved our ultimate goal of life. Purport: the devotees of Lord are always very eager to see the Supreme Lord face to face. But they do not demand that Lord come before them. For a pure devotee considers such a demand to be contrary to the devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches this lesson in his 6th custom. Adarsanam marma hatam karotuva. The devotee is always eager to see the Lord face to face. But if he is heartbroken because he cannot see the Lord, even life after life, he will never command the Lord to appear. This is a sign of pure devotion. Therefore, in this verse, we find the word atichiraipchita artham. The meaning that the devotees aspire for a long, long time to see the Lord. If the Lord, by his own pleasure, appears before the devotee feels extremely happy. Yeah, Dhruva Maharaj felt when he personally saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Dhruva Maharaj saw the Lord, he had no desire to ask the Lord for any benediction. Indeed, simply by seeing the Lord, Dhruva Maharaj felt so satisfied that he did not want to ask the Lord for any benediction. Swamin kartho asmi varahana ase. A pure devotee, whether able or unable to see the Lord, always eager to engage in Lord's devotional service, always hoping that at some time the Lord may please to appear before him so that he can see the Lord face to face. Om Ajnana Trimindasya Jnananjala Salakaya Chaksurulmitamena Tasme Sri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapadaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamini Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachata Desha Tarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So just a brief summary of this chapter. Of course, last Sunday, so was the previous chapter that was about prayers of Lord Brahma and demigods to Lord Vishnu. So there, so the Lord Vishnu and all the devotees, they didn't have darshan of Lord yet. So they are praying to Lord, for several days to get darshan of the Lord. So this chapter is about, so Lord, the chapter titled as, demigods and the demons declare a truce. So they declare a peace. So this was the instruction by Lord. So up to now, so suddenly Lord appeared. So then all the demigods and Lord Brahma and Shiva, they all had darshan of Lord. So now they are glorifying Lord. So today's verse, they are talking about, Lord, we have seen you, we achieved ultimate goal of life. So very beautifully, verses up to now. In fact, yesterday's verse that was discussed, that talks about by bhakti yoga, by practice of bhakti yoga, one can achieve favor of Supreme Lord even in this material world. Just being in Melbourne, by practicing bhakti yoga, you can achieve favor of Radha Vallabha. And many devotees are achieving favor of Lord Radha Vallabha. So who may be non-devotees, who may had many anarthas, but by practicing bhakti yoga, they got the favor of Lord. Now they become a very nice devotees, very happy, transcendental happy. So today's verse talks about transcendental happiness, not just material. So let us go through, each of these words or the lines in depth. So let us start with the last one. Gaja Dvarta Eva Gangam Ambuha. Gaja. Gaja means elephant and elephants. So when elephants are in Dvarta, that is in forest fire. So when there is a big forest fire, obviously where do elephants live generally? They live in forest. That is their home. Although people catch them and bring you to city to have some drama, play, service. But in general they live in forest. When there is a huge forest fire, at that time, what is the aspiration of all these elephants? They are seeking a shelter. So most of them, at least they like to seek a shelter of water body, Ganga water, or even some lake. You get into lake and just get, be inside the lake safer. When there is a huge fire, and this fire won't be able to burn the water fully, so maybe the fire may not appear closer. Even if it comes closer, they can dip inside the water. So they feel very happy. So that is why, so here the analogy is given. So just as elephants that are caught in forest fire, what is their strong desire? Desire protection by getting into the water. So actually in this Vrindavana Mahimamrita, so this Vrindavan Mahima, so described by Prabhupada Saraswati Maharaj. So he has very beautifully given analogy. Suppose someone is very thirsty. What does pleases him the most? Water. Correct? I'm also feeling a little thirsty. So let me please myself by having water. Thanks to Jack Prabhu. Not only water, he is also given warm water. If I'm a youngster like any other, maybe I will drink a cold water, I will be more nourished, very prepared to have prasada and very nicely digested. But hot water is very good. So a few classes ago, I think not yesterday but previous class, many of you probably remember that Keshav Prabhu talked about the need for having digestive power, fire ready so that you can enjoy, feast, honor Mahaprasada nicely. Not only taste, but also digested properly. When you digest it properly, so you get nourished properly, and also you will be more healthier, and whatever food you eat, everything become nourished, no waste, perfect digestion. So thank you, Prabhu. So water. So one who is very thirsty, so water pleases. And one who is very hungry, what does please? Food. So here in Vrindavana Mahimamrita, so Prabodhananda Saraswati Maharaj says, as palatable food is to men tortured by hunger. And of course, as cool water is to man perspiring in the heat. So this is, when there is a very hot summer in July month, so we have Jagannath Yatra in Jagannath Puri. July is supposed to be a little cool and raining, but these days due to all this climate imbalance and changes, you see even in July very hot. So this time July 8 and 9, so many devotees from Melbourne were in Jagannath Puri to witness Jagannath Ratha-yatra for 2 days. Just coming from the temple to Gundicha Mandir, usually it happens on the same day. So possibly starts at 10 o'clock or so. Then, by evening, the Lord Jagannatha, Baladeva Subhadramaya, they reach Gundicha Mandir. But after 55 years or so, for the first time, so this time is for 2 days, because Lord started their journey in the evening after 4 o'clock. Then, all the devotees pulled, then up to 8 o'clock, maybe around 600, 700 meters, we were able to pull, become 8 o'clock, then stopped. But during that period, it was so hot. So if it is so hot, suppose you walk there for half an hour. So your, the head will, or the skin will get burnt, the hand will get burnt. So hot. So at that time, kindly, I think government or some devotees were just spraying, water on everybody. So feeling very happy. But if they do that in Melbourne right now, what happens? Everybody will run away. They will be cursed because it is so cold here, and then you put again cold water on top of it. So we will have a displeasure. So that was a pleasure was offered. Similarly here it says, in hot summer, the water, cool water pleases. So here, Prabodhananda Saraswati Maharaj also says, as a beautiful girl is to the lusty man. So lusty men feel very pleasurable to see a beautiful girl. That's what it says, okay? And it is true. In material world, everybody is running behind sense gratification. So this is how they are deriving pleasure. Then as wealth to the poverty-stricken person. If someone is very poor, poverty-stricken, so doesn't have any money, to buy any food items or any shelter, homeless, very difficult. For such a person, what is most pleasure? Wealth. If he finds $100 on the road, feel very happy. But someone who is a millionaire, $100, he may just ignore and go. unless he is Bill Gates. Bill Gates is such a richest person in the world, but if he finds 10 paisa on the road, he will pick up. Others with ego, we ignore and go. Of course, devotees also pick up. Usually, they consider this is the Lord Lakshmi, is the wealth of Narayana. Okay, I found it, there is no owner claiming, they come and put into hundi. So whereas here, poverty-stricken person feels very happy if he can get wealth. So then, who said a tree to the distressed by the summer sun? So summer sun. So if there is very summer sun, as I mentioned in Jagannath Puri, and of course many places in India, even during July, so hot. At that time you feel very nice if you can find a nice tree below which you can stand and take some little rest. So if you are walking from one place to the place, if you are coming from house to the temple, it takes a 2 hour by walk. Then in between you find a tree, you just take rest for half an hour and continue journey. So this was in old time, but these days people may come with umbrella or come in car, they may not need. So what about the parents? Parents feel so much of pleasure when they see their baby. May not be adult, but adult also. So our Jaidev Prabhu, Jairam Prabhu, Jairam became Jaidev. So Jaidev mother became very happy by seeing her son in Jagannath Puri. And also son as well. If mother is lost, son is also very anxious to somehow find her. Then when the message was announced, Jaidev Prabhu, mother is found, he was very happy, jumping, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jumped when he saw Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri Rathayatra time. These are practical examples, these are not made up. So I heard this, I have seen it. Okay, and also similarly, impersonal Brahman, those who are Mayavadis, so yogis, some of them also feel very pleasure to see impersonal Brahman. Of course, the devotees, they derive great pleasure when they see Lord Hare. When you are running from the house, at let's say for Rajbhog Arati at 12:30 to 1 o'clock, at that time you keep running, maybe for some reason you got slow down, running, it is just 12:50, 55, running. And they come inside. If they can get glimpse of Lord, even the door is closing, some glimpse, they feel so happy. Their life is successful and ultimate goal of life is achieved. So much of pleasure they derive. So at 12:55 you come, and of course that depends upon the who pujari at that day. Some of the pujaris are closing at 12:50 only. So that time they say, what is this? I've come running all the way from house here and stopped car somewhere here, then close. Sometimes they argue with me. I am not the pujari that day. Usually if I am there, I'll open up to 1 o'clock. I know that some devotees run, and they expect. So they feel so much of pleasure, just even the momentary glance of Supreme Lord. Then of course in Vrindavan Mahimatra, so this book talks about the glory of Vrindavan. So similarly this Prabhupada Surti Maharaj is saying, so if he sees Vrindavan, so he also feels so much the devotion. Why? Because in Vrindavan everything is taking place. You can see Supreme Lord, you can see his pastime, you can see his devotees, you see their services, complete. So anyway, coming to this verse talks about Lord Brahma's statement on how transcendental happiness is deriving, having darshan of Supreme Lord. And in fact he says that is the ultimate goal of life, artham. So that is the last verse, how analogy, how this starts with just as elephant feels so much of happy when they can, in the forest fire, if they can find a water body, Ganges water, Ganga water. So coming to the first, tam tvayam vayam nata samujihanam. So this Natha is the master. We say Vaikunta Natha. So who is the master of Vaikunta? Lord Narayana. So there are persons who have got this name, Vaikunta Natha. So here Natha, Samuji Hanam. So what is Samuji Hanam? So this Samuji Hanam means Lord is appearing in front of Brahma and other demigods in his full effulgence, What is the effulgence? In the previous verse, I think second verse, so there, so it says that when the Lord appeared, the effulgence was something like 1,000 sun arising. Imagine just one sun is coming up in the eastern direction. Like this 1,000 sun at once they appear simultaneously. What happens? Most of us will not be able to see it so light. Even in night time you sleep and wake up, somebody forces you to wake up, then when they switch on the light, just simple light only peers into our eyes, we can't see. The same thing happened. 1,000 suns suddenly appearing. Because of that, all the demigods were unable to see anything, neither themselves, nor where the water is, nor where the land is, the trees, nothing. They are not able to see anything. Of course, Brahma and Shiva were exceptions. So they were able to see. So later on, slowly, Lord, so His form, then they glorified. So here, Lord is appearing in full effulgence. And of course, as a result, they were able to see Lord face to face. That's what we say, lotus face of Lord. They're able to see lotus feet of Lord. Usually, because it was so heavy sunlight, unable to see an effulgence. But when they saw, so they were just surrendered to all these demigods and Brahma, Shiva. They all are surrendered to Supreme Lord. So in surrender means, at least either we say like this here when we come to Radha temple. Generally when we enter, so because we see Gaurita, because Gaurita is doing Haribol, we are also saying Haribol. There is surrender. But whereas in situation where there is a heavy sunlight, unable to see anything, they were just surrender like this. So when they open their eyes, what did they see? Lotus feet. So first lotus feet. That's why we are advised to see lotus feet first. During this lockdown, when we were doing broadcasting of darshans, so I was advised, instructed to first start with lotus feet. Usually when we come and see the face, lotus face. But there I was advised, always first focus on there, the moment altar opens, so the lotus feet. From there you go up slowly. So following the instruction of Shastra. So that's what they did. They saw lotus feet, felt very happy. Now they felt sheltered. They were shelterless, homeless. Now they become sheltered under Supreme Lord. Then of course they saw Padmanabha. They were saying navel as a Padma. They saw lotus face. They saw lotus lips, Kamala Nayana, lotus eyes. No, they all see lotus only. Means beautiful, very pleasurable. So they saw all of that. They were very happy. So the next verse talks about that Padmanabha. Saroja Nabha. So what is Saroja Nabha? So the Lord with lotus-like navel, or from whose navel lotus flower grows. And of course, those of you who have visited, place like the birthplace of our Goprandas Prabhu, Thiruvananthapuram, Travancore is called previously in few thousands years ago, Travancore, but now called Trivandrum. Trivandrum was English. I think now called Thiruvananthapuram. Puram means the village. Thiru, the Lord place, Lord holy place. So there they have beautiful Padmanabha, Lord Padmanabha. How many of you visited Padmanabha? Darshan? Haribol. Obviously Jairam visited all the dhams in this life only. So, and not only he visited, he also made all other devotees visit as well. So by his mercy, so last month I had opportunity to see Kirchor Gopinath. So now coming to Padmanabha, Sarojanabha, so beautiful. So if you just close your eyes, if you are not seen, we'll try to describe. He is in what we call Ananta Sayana. There is one who is lying on Ananta Shesha. So Lord Vishnu you usually see, so lying on Ananta Shesha. So at that time it seems like he is on a yoga nidra. And that is what you see there. So Lord is in Yoga Nidra. So then, of course, he's also put his hand on, right hand on Sivalinga. So imagine this is Sivalinga. So he is sleeping, Yoga Nidra, and putting his hand on Sivalinga. Some people ask, why is he putting on Sivalinga? Something else he can put hand on water, but he's putting hand on Sivalinga. Why? Because he wants to bless the whole universe. So this Shiva and his wife Parvati Devi, so they are the controller of this universe. So by blessing Shiva, you are blessing everybody. If you bless a head of the house, so for example, head of the house blessed with $1 trillion lottery. Obviously, that will go to all the family members, and if he's generous, he will go to some friends. More generous, go to society. More generous, go to the country. More generous, comes to the temple. Correct? That's the final. So the most generous person will contribute or share with Radha Vallabha. Of course, it belongs to Radha Vallabha, but still it is very difficult to share. So, generous person. So that's what happens. So it's blessing the whole universe. So that is the first one, right? Then obviously, so there you will also see from the navel of Padmanabha, Lord Padmanabha. So you will also see stem, and you also see a Padma, lotus. And who is sitting on the lotus? Brahmadev. Correct? That's why we say Brahma is born from navel of Lord. So Brahmadev you see. Then of course around you see some devatas. Then in this front you also see Padmanabha with his consorts, Sri Devi, Bhudevi. So very beautiful. So that is Sarojanabha. And to see this Sarojanabha, Lord Vishnu, and they are saying, Lord, we have waited for very long. Atichira, extremely long time. You see, when all this, they went to the ocean of milk there. So there they waited for a long time, and the waited means they are not simply scratching their head. They are constantly praying, Lord. So the previous chapter, talks about prayers of Lord Brahma and the demigods, the devatas. So they were praying, constantly praising Supreme Lord's qualities and explaining their situation. Of course, they didn't explain. They're saying that we are your servants, we are surrendered to you. Lord, please take care of us. We are in distress. Then speaking glories of Lord and how Lord creates, annihilates, and maintains. All the glories of Lord was, they were praying. So when the Lord appeared, so then now that appeared, and then they're saying, oh Lord, you are a Sarojanabha, and we waited for so long time. So then, of course, they are saying that, why? Ipsita, we are desiring to see your, desiring to have your darshan. So that is the, then of course they are saying, artham. Ipsita artham. Artham means ultimate goal of life. So we want to achieve ultimate goal of life. How? Simply by having darshan of Supreme Lord. So this is about Padmanabha. So Artham is also, as I said, ultimate goal of life. We all are pursuing this bhakti to achieve ultimate goal of life. So if there is a temporary goal, we can do so many things. If the temporary goal is to get a house in Albert Park, residence, become a neighbor of Radha Vallabha, so how can you become? Possibly you need to earn enough to be able to get a bank loan of 3 million or so. When one of these houses comes for sale, you can buy it. That's one of the way. Or you maybe keep purchasing a lottery, gambling. One day you get a couple of millions. Even if they're not selling, you can give an offer. I will give you 6 million. Immediately, on the second they will take it and the house become yours. So there are many ways to acquire. Or you pray to Supreme Lord and He will do something. So even if He doesn't give you, doesn't make you neighborer, at least He can make you ashramavasi. Becoming ashramavasi is not easy, by the way. Some devotees have prayed for millions of lifetime. Finally they got ashrama shelter in Radha Vallabha Mandir. So it is highest achievement in Australia. So it's not easily anybody can get. Sometimes somehow they get in, but they get out also. You have seen. The devotees are coming and going. But those who are having very strong desire, so they get a permanent shelter. Not only in Melbourne, after the body, they will get in Vaikuntha Loka. Now coming to this Artham. So of course, ultimate goal of life, we want to achieve how? By practicing bhakti. Then if our bhakti become somehow very pure, then we become eligible to go back to Godhead. Or even if you don't go back to Godhead, you are still here and you are performing bhakti with transcendental pleasure. This is very important. This is transcendental pleasure. So not a material pleasure. So here, every time I feel thirsty, I have to drink water. But if it is a transcendental, so no hunger at all. So simply by chanting continuously, deriving so much of pleasure in the mouth. So Goswamis, Rupa Goswami says, I am doing this chanting, Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. While chanting, I am deriving so much of nectar, and this one tongue is not sufficient. You are taking Rasgulla and others, tasting with one tongue. This toe says, how nice it will be if I got millions of tongues, then I can taste all of them simultaneously. So like that. So when we become pure, surely we will get that taste. So currently, Prabhupada says, when you have jaundice, so at that time, even if you drink a sugar syrup, you will feel bitter. So that is our situation, in the conditioned state, with so much of desires, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, all of these are residing in our head. Because of that, we are not able to taste the holy name, but Rupa Goswami says you can taste it. So much of pleasure, so much of nectar one can derive, so much of bliss one can derive. Then, so in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, we have many stories. One such story is Narada Muni. As you all know, Narada Muni, in this life, son of Lord Brahma. Previously, he was son of maid servant. Before that, he was Gandharva, Upabarana. So he was a Gandharva. So once he was invited to Sankirtana party by other demigods, and he went. So Upabarana, Gandharva was very beautiful, bodily feature, very beautiful. Not only that, he was also expert in singing. So in Sankirtana, what is the expectation? Everybody come and sing glory of Lord, or at least repeat Hare Krishna mantra, whatever they're doing. But this Narada, he was very beautiful first. Second, is also very good in singing. Then he started singing, glorifying demigods, just like singing, some film songs. And because of that, he even attracted many beautiful women also. So created a disturbance in the Sankirtana. Imagine you go to Sankirtana and you invite one person, and this person, instead of following or at least keeping quiet, so he is doing all of that, he is simply attracting minds and the heart of all the women, and then going there and sat there and creating commotion. So will it please you, one who invited? No. So he was cursed. So because of that, he is born as a Sudra, as a son of a maid servant. But fortunately, so he had an opportunity to serve sadhus who were going through their place, then through their service. So he achieved their favor. Then not only serving them, he didn't eat, the bhoga that is made first. The bhoga that was offered to them, that Mahaprasada, whatever left over, remnants, he ate. And with that, he has won the heart of all those sannyasis and munis. Then they blessed him. Then he went with them. Then at one point, he just went to one forest, and there he started doing tapas. Constantly he is meditating in his heart. Heart became a little pure and meditating. So much of intense meditation in his heart, and one day he saw Supreme Lord in his heart. Not just like with eye. He seen just like, so pure devotees, like Hanuman. You see sometime Hanuman, like this, pulling his heart, and inside you see Sitaram. Some devotees in Melbourne, you watch carefully, see their t-shirt, you remove their jacket, inside they see their wife photo. Anybody has seen? Not naming anybody, but you experiment. You will find. You be here from today, now to 9 o'clock. Every person comes inside, open their jacket and see. You will see a t-shirt inside heart. So anyway, at least person has a wife in heart. Otherwise, other people will not have, they will have non-wife, some other woman in their heart. Externally a wife, internally somebody else. At least this person has a wife in heart. Very good. So Vedically very acceptable. Moral. Anyway, so the Lord was in heart. Then of course we don't have eye to see. But because of his bhakti, Narada was able to see a Lord in his heart. When he saw Lord in heart, he felt so much of pleasure. But Lord said, "Oh Narada, this is only one glimpse for this life. That's it. No more." So then this fellow, Narada, became heartbroken. So this separation, now with intensity of bhakti is increasing. So therefore, you have so much of desire, you get a glimpse of Lord, but if your bhakti is there, then you're feeling in separation you can't intensify your bhakti. So by intensifying like this, then you slowly, you purify so much that one day you will be able to see the Lord, transcendental form. Then not only see, you can go to his abode. So that is when Narada Muni became a spaceman. So with that siddhi that he achieved, he can go to any loka by his desire. In a second he can go to Jagannath Puri, in a second he can go to Mayapur, in a second he can go to Vrindavan, in a second he can go to Vaikuntha Loka, wherever he desires. He doesn't have to take aeroplane, no ticket, no visa, nothing, no arrangement. Instantly. So that is possible. So by this siddhi. So that's what happened. So then of course in Sunday we discussed about what Bhakti Siddhanta Swati Maharaj said. He says, don't try to see a God. Act in such a way that God like to see you. Prabhupada says, God is not your order supplier. You can't say, hey, Radha Prabhupada, come here. I am just stuck in the traffic. Come and give me darshan. No, he's not your order supplier. So we have to act. We act here in these cases. We need to perform our bhakti with purity. So when we perform our services with purity, bhakti with purity, and the Lord pleases, and then he will give you darshan. So that is the recommendation, that you act in such a way that Lord like to see. Then obviously by our bhakti, what are we doing? We are doing Cheto Darpana Marjana. We are purifying our heart. When our heart become pure, complete anarthas destroyed, fully pure, at that time you can see Lord in your heart. You can also see Lord in others' heart, not only your heart. That's what Lord says, in Pandita Samadarshaniya, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. So there in the verse, Lord says, once you become pure, you see Lord in your heart, you see Lord in other fellow beings, you can see Lord in Gaja, in elephant, you can see Lord in dog. When the many personalities, great personalities, rich personalities in Alba Park, they are carrying, they are taking dog. At that time you don't see a dog, you see a Lord in the dog. So when you are running from that side on the Dank Street, the dog there at the corner will say, "Bhav Bhav." And if you are very pure, you will see, he is saying, "Hare Krishna." Otherwise you will see, it's scary. Some scare and some fall down. I have seen some Mataji is running. He says, "Bhav," he says from the inside. Then Mataji like this and fell down. Yeah. Imagine somebody says, "Hare Krishna," you don't fall down. You say "Hare Krishna," and still running even faster. Imagine somebody this side and you are coming running there. Somebody is Hare Krishna, you are saying Hare Krishna. With that you get so much of, much more push. Then you run faster. Then somehow you appear inside, just before opening of the altar at 7 a.m. Yeah, that happens. So it is very, very important that we, practice. So the bhakti. So then, of course, in Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma is saying, Premanjana Surita Bhakti Vilochana. So when can we see our eyes, when our eyes are having some disease, we are not able to see anything properly. But when you put the ointment, when the eyes become healthy, then we can see much more clearly. Even then we can't see clearly. What do? We need a spec. So we try to see Gaurithaya, Radha Vallabha, we can see, but not perfect. So we take help of spec and see properly. So something to help us. So here what can help us? When with bhakti we purify. When our eye tinged with what we call premanjana, anjana, medicine, ointment, prema. So when we develop that prema of Supreme Lord, so we'll be able to see the Lord, and we not only see, but we can also derive great pleasure. So that is important. So you can see physical form. When Lord Krishna was there during Dwapara Yuga, many saw Lord form. Duryodhana saw, Karna saw, many warriors saw Lord. But who has derived great pleasure? Only few. Those who are pure devotees. So that is very, very important. And of course, so this pleasure that you derive by service of Lord is endless. You more and more, there is no end. Even at least this universe has an end. It looks like universe is so big, there is no end to it. But there is an end. But whereas the transcendental pleasures, the one derived by service of Lord, is endless. So that is why Prabhupada in the purport, not in the purport, another purport, he says that seeing the Lord means being engaged in His service. I want darshan of Lord. What does it mean? So being engaged in service of Supreme Lord is actually seeing Lord. So bhakti is not different from Supreme Lord. So there is no difference. Person and the seva are identical. That's what Prabhupada says. So you are doing seva of cleaning temple, so you are doing seva of making bhoga, or any seva you perform is identical with Supreme Lord. So you can, that's why we say, you see Lord through ear. We are blind persons. No prema in our eye. How can we see? Simply hear description of Supreme Lord, how His lotus feet is, the lotus navel, Padmanabha, then His lotus feet. You see, you hear from, then just by hearing from there you can see how the Lord is. And many of these pictures, you see today only except Radha Krishna all disappeared. But how are they drawn? The devotees during 1970, so Prabhupada when he went to New York, he didn't go with all the photos of all the devotees and the lords. No photo of Hanuman, no photo of Lord Simsa, no photo of Chaitanya, hardly, only first 3 cantos, some photo, that's all. But the devotees read those Śrīmad Bhāgavatam canto, and from there they imagined and created these images, and they are so famous. And these are used by everybody else, all the sampradayas. You go to various sampradayas, if they put some photos, often those photos are drawn by our devotees. High quality images are available freely on internet. Any other photo you have to pay. But whereas the photos drawn by our devotees are so beautiful, and they are freely available to everybody to copy. More you copy, more better. Let the whole world copy Radha Krishna picture. Much better. So that is the preaching. So that's what they are doing. So they engage in services. So through bhakti, so identical. So that is why Prabhupada says that go on serving Lord, and through this service, Lord will come and see you. Go on distributing books like this Mahalakshmi Mataji. One day Lord Himself will come and pick up the book from her. How nice that will be. That's the final distribution, the end, done. The ultimate success of life. And of course, even you don't have to be a Lord party to be successful or see a Lord. Even if you are in opposition party, like in battlefield of Kurukshetra, when Arjuna was releasing the arrows, then of course Lord was the Sarathi. So he was a charioteer of Arjuna. So at that time there were many other opposition army warriors. So this arrow is hitting them and then some of them dying. But what is the fortunate situation of them? They see Lord Krishna in front of them. Because of the moment arrow hits them, immediately to Goloka Vrindavan. Because, at the last breath of her life, they are seeing Lord face to face. They may not know the Lord's glory, but they all achieved abode. So that is so nice. And they were, of course, seeing smiling face. And similarly, Bhishmadev. So Bhishmadev, as you all know, when he was hit with so many arrows, but he, unlike other warriors, he has a power, boon, that he can leave his body when he desires, not like other warriors. So therefore he elongated. So he is a Vedic expert. So he wanted the most auspicious time. At that time he want to leave body. Whereas these simple warriors, there is no such siddhi. But anyway, so he waited, but he requested Lord to appear in front of him. Then as a result, so he was able to see the Lord, smiling face, and at the right best moment he left the body. So that he can go back to Vaikuntha Loka or Krishna Loka. So those are other achievements. But anyway, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a person with such a boon like Bhishma. You can be just a warrior in a opposition party where Lord Krishna is. So that is also okay. You can see this is the glory of those seeing Lord face either in the war or with service. The devotees are not fighting with Lord. Of course, if the Lord says, let us do some play, they will fight. Just like Hiranyakasipu. Correct? Jai Vijay from Vaikuntha Loka, they came here to enact a pastime. So they can do it. So for a pastime purpose. In fact, this chapter is called Demons and Demigods Declare Trust. So Lord want to perform this Samudra Mantana and do some Leela, Mohini Leela. So therefore, okay, let us declare some peace. So the moment you declare the peace, what do? Do something together. So that is explained later. But anyway, so just by declaring a peace, listening to Lord instruction, so they listened. Of course, initially they were skeptical. We do Samudra Manthan. From there comes nectar. These demons are already powerful. They will snatch away everything and drink. But Lord says, don't worry, I will take care of all of that. So they believed in Lord's word. So even though all this happened, but Lord made so that only the demigods and all the devatas got it, and of course one more demon also got it. But anyway, so Lord makes sure that that happens. But they have to have full trust. So then only they can declare trust. You say, you go to Lord. Lord, please protect us from all these demons, Bali Maharaj and his associates. But Lord says, no, make a friendship with them. You are devastated. I have come here to seek your help, and you are now telling me become friend of those people, then become the servant. But anyway, they had trust in Lord. Lord has some other different plan, so they accepted it. So we also have to be. So whatever we desire, we will not get. So, but whatever you get, that is by will of Supreme Lord. You may get so many things. We desire so many things, but it's not coming. But sometimes we get certain things, we may not desire anything, that one. But that is come because of Supreme Lord mercy. Okay. So anyway, engage in bhakti. So become successful. To conclude, you can see, so devotees, all the devotees are so eager to see Supreme Lord. Of course, Brahma is also very eager. All the devatas eager. So they had darshan of Lord and felt transcendental pleasure. Unlimited pleasure. Then, of course, bhaktas, they are simply interested in doing service. Both are same, having darshan and having seva. So this way, so we can be happy here, happy in this life, and happy in the next life when you go back to Vaikuntha Loka. So with that, let me stop here. So thank you, Hare Krishna. So let me answer one question the devotees haven't. So they wrote, so Prabhu, you have mentioned how in the Shastra it is stated that when we take darshan of darshan, we should first look at his lotus feet and then slowly go up. But for Srimati Radharani, we don't see her lotus feet every day only on Radhastami. So how can we take darshan of her lotus feet every day? So how can we take darshan of lotus feet of Radharani? How can we do that? Easy. You become a pujari. Not pujari. Become a one who can dress the Lord. Pujari is not qualified to see Radharani's lotus feet. Okay? But the one who dresses Supreme Lord every day, you can. So the moment you are dressing Radharani here, so obviously you will have direct darshan. Full. Okay? Or other pujaris who can have. Those pujaris who put their lordship to the rest. So if you become a pujari of Sayanarati from 9 to 9:25, 9:30, so after you close the altar, then you put the deity Radha Krishna, the small deity, Radha Krishna. They are called Radha Krishna by the way, not Radha Vallabha. Radha Krishna. So Radha Krishna deities, you put them to the rest. So while putting to the rest, you get to see Radharani's lotus feet, and not only get to see, you can hold also. The hold complete. First Krishna, put it to, so you get fully hug Krishna. You're holding Krishna. So that is the ultimate achievement you can have in this universe. So Lord is allowing you to hold Him fully. Best service you can do. So put them to Krishna to rest. Then bring Radharani. While bringing, obviously you will have darshan of Radha's lotus feet. Obviously, then you can touch also. So you can have. This is another way. Okay? I hope this is a practical way of doing it. So simply engaging service. So if you have a very strong desire, definitely the person will become pujari of Sayana Arati. So desire should be there. You desire, whatever you desire, Krishna will organize. You desire that I want to become richest person of Australia, Krishna will organize. You desire that I have a very nice devotional association, Krishna will organize. You desire that I am in some place where prasad is not available, you strongly desire, Krishna will organize. Krishna will organize everything. But our desire has to be strong. If our desire is weak, he will not organize. So it's a desire, how desire we are, how in separation we are. So that is, I am really devastated. Separation, so much of separation. I want to see Radharani's lotus feet. So then there is a way. Where there is will, there is way. Our will has to be very strong. Okay. With that, let me stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So it's 8:45. So best time to have a prasada. Hare Krishna.